Arizona Cardinals versus Seattle Seahawks. Arizona, the most unbelievable Hail Mary I've ever seen with respect to the Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers ones, everybody shoves around. The Russell Wilson one where, Golden Tate, massacres the guy in the back and catch. We see those. We're used to that.
Sure.
That ball.
This one was different.
That ball, 1 inch in any direction.
I know.
That ball's not completed.
That was mental. Caught it between 3 other guys. I mean, what?
Well-positioned defensive players. The most unbelievable throw and catch I've ever seen.
Dude, DeAndre Hopkins, man.
He's so good.
He's so good.
And Brad, they got him for David Johnson in a second-round pick. This guy.
Unbelievable. He's phenomenal. That's another guy that we don't talk about enough, and I don't know why. It was just incredible. And it's funny, man. Kyler Murray, it's like Brett Favre had this magic when he played, right? And I can't explain it any better than that. It was like this incredible energy, and Kyler Murray plays the same way, dude. And sometimes when you're just so good and talented, you make a Hail Mary happen for some reason. You know?
And he did. He made I posted a reaction. I said, Bills fans, tell me, how do you defend that play any better? You had 3 people on exactly where the ball was, jumped up. If you're the cornerback, you say the one thing I said in retrospect you could try to do is if you were Tre'Davious, whatever, White is the cornerback. I don't know his first name. It's like T. White something. But he could jump up and try to get your arm in between the other guy's arms and rip out. But what are you going to do? You're going to tell your defensive back to not try to knock the ball down, jump up and not. It's just DeAndre Hopkins. This is why you get DeAndre Hopkins. This is why if you're the Houston Texans, you hold out for 2 first-round picks. They got him for David Johnson, a second-round pick. Unbelievable.
I will say this about the cornerbacks and the safeties, whoever were back there. It's not on them.
No way.
It's nothing they did wrong. There's 3 of them there, and they all played it perfectly. But somehow Hopkins was just a little bit better. Right?
I just can't believe it. And I was looking at a picture of it, like a still picture in an article of that, and you could just see 6 hands right there. And then DeAndre Hopkins.
That was amazing, man. That was amazing. It's
I
just one
could
of those
not
moments,
believe it.
Anything could happen in these games, and that's why it's so damn cool.
And you say Kyler Murray. To me, the way I've described him this week, and specifically after that Bills game, the Bills I thought played a nice defensive game against them, and Kyler Murray looks like he's in fast forward. And everybody else.
Yes, he does. It's funny you say that. He really does.
Like Lamar Jackson, when he runs, I would say they're probably about the same speed. Everybody talks about Lamar Jackson's speed. Lamar Jackson's like a sprinter. He runs out to the side, curls up, and goes up the sideline. Kyler Murray's like a pinball machine, dude. He's just like boom, 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 boom.
He's amazing.
He's so quick and fast. And we was saying in recent weeks that Kyler Murray reminds us a lot of younger Russell Wilson, although I would make the argument that Kyler Murray today in his second season is better than Russell Wilson was in his second season. There's a lot of,
I could dig that. Russell Wilson had a really great defense his second year, right?
Yeah, and they were more run. They had Marshawn Lynch. They didn't have the skill players that Russell Wilson has today. The Cardinals obviously have DeAndre Hopkins, Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk, who I like. Nobody ever talks about. You got Edmonds and Drake out of the backfield. But Seattle, let's shift it over to them, dude. Russell Wilson, I know he's been struggling as of late. I know Seattle, in my opinion, needs Chris Carson, his physicality back. I believe he got injured the last time these 2 teams played. Arizona comes back, won that game.
Let me just say this, man. Yes, Russell Wilson has been struggling, but you remember for years when the Packers didn't play good and people tried to dump on Aaron, and I would say, he didn't play well, but it's not his problem. It's not his fault.
Are people dumping on Russell Wilson? Because I mean, that would be insane. Well, I haven't seen a lot of that.
My point is they shouldn't be. So even if he is throwing picks, he's so damn good and special that I have to think if he's struggling, it's a result of the errors of the people around him, whether it be the defense or the coaching. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The guy can't do everything. He's phenomenal, but Jesus, man. Give the guy something else.
The defense is failing him, and I thought the Rams matchup was bad news for them without Carson because the Rams defense is good. The Rams are at this point a defensive team. We'll talk about them in a bit. Seattle, Russell Wilson still an MVP. Although if they lose again, they go to 4 losses, and Arizona wins the game. They have 2. Listen, if Arizona wins this game, Arizona has 3 losses. Seattle has 4. Arizona has 2 wins over the Seattle Seahawks. So that means the Seattle Seahawks would have to make up 2 games or 1.5, if you could throw a tie in there or something like that. This is a huge game for the division, dude. Huge.
Big time. I think we need to say this. You and I both at the beginning of the year, I think that we said Arizona would not be any better than I forget what we labeled it, but we definitely said they'd come in last place in that division, right?
I think my prediction was a 9-7 last place because of how good this division is.
Yes, and I may have said 7-9 last place, but yet a very formidable team.
Yeah.
So we were wrong. We never thought they'd be this fired up, right?
Well, my thing about the Cardinals was I thought, comparing these two teams, I thought Seattle's defense would be playing as well as the Cardinals' defense is playing now. I thought the Cardinals' defense, I liked what the moves they were making. I love the coaching staff. Vance Joseph's awesome. He's aggressive. Simmons, I thought, was the best defensive player in the draft. I liked everything that they did, but I thought it would take a year to coalesce. It coalesced early, man. To me,
it's nice to see that you don't have to be 6'4", 225 to be a quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
I love seeing him out there. He's so little, man.
Yeah.
He's such a
dominant.
small guy and dominant. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, for this game, I got to say, honestly, and we said this earlier, man, this is week 11. If you have a bad defense, it's not getting better.
That's a good point.
You're plugging holes in dam at this point. You're trying to figure out what you can do. Seattle is a bad defensive team this year. That's what they are. And I know Seahawks fans are going to, want to justify it. And what I'll say is, Brad, as you know, I watch over the course of a week because of my TV setup and all that. I watch about 10 teams, and I watch specifically to gamble. So I'm reminding everybody this. I see, if I'm watching 10 games, I'm seeing 20 teams a week play. Seattle's bad. They're a bad defense this year. I thought they would be better. And Brad, Seattle was my pick to make it to the Super Bowl. And I'm going to stick with that. And I think they have to.
I still think that can happen. I do.
Because they have the most room for improvement because of that bad defense. You got to think that maybe they can get it together.
Well, and also every other team is pretty much flawed as well.
Yeah.
Every good team has an area where they're lacking.
Except for Pittsburgh and Kansas City.
Right. Yeah, me too. Right.
Yeah.
But in the NFC, I'm talking about.
Yeah, I agree.
Wide open. Saints can't really throw downfield very well for some reason anymore, right?
Yeah.
And, I don't know. Maybe the Bucs are the most balanced. Maybe they have the least.
They do, but they're so up and down. I agree. I actually think the Bucs, and I gotta say, again, this is, to me, this game. This is I'm really curious about this because look, 2 years ago when the Rams were making their Super Bowl run and they were a young team, I'm like, and maybe it was 3 years ago actually when they had a good run, but they weren't really there. In fact, it was 3 years ago. The Rams were up and coming with Sean McVay. They were new. They were, running over everybody. And they played, and I think Sherman was still on the Seahawks. They played the kind of the aging Seattle Seahawks defense. The Rams were better. And I'm like, do they have the leadership? Do they have, because they're young, they're better. Are they going to win? And then they ended up laying an egg, and Seattle covered their spread and all that stuff. I see the same thing this week. I believe that the Arizona Cardinals are better than the Seattle Seahawks as they stand right now. The defense is playing better, and I think the offense right now is just as good.
Yeah, I'm not going to go so far as to say that, but only because Russell Wilson is he's the best player on the field, no matter who he's going against, right? And then so if the best player on the field is the quarterback, I don't know, maybe I still lean that way, but it's splitting hairs, to be honest.
It is splitting hairs, and my thing is, I agree with what you said. Kyler Murray, look, Russell Wilson, I would still take him just based on experience and all that stuff. But Kyler Murray is right here. Whereas most of the weeks, Russell Wilson's here and then everybody else is way below, right?
Right.
And Arizona's defense is just playing so much better. Now, is that going to happen this week? I have no freaking clue. I mean, this is experience versus youth movement. I don't know what's going to happen. I hate, by the way, that this is a Thursday night game. I wish this was a Sunday night game. Short week. I don't like it, but at least we start with an awesome game. Let me get you with
it's better. Okay, go ahead.
The line here. Bovada, Arizona +3 versus Seattle. Seattle at home.
Excuse me, Seattle at home. I want Arizona to win, but I got to, we say this every week. I'm not about to bet against Russell Wilson. So,
yeah,
I'm taking Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going to take Seahawks just based on the experience.
Sure.
But look, this is a thing. This is like a respect game, and I said the last time these two teams played, it was a statement game. Is Arizona here to play? And I think Seattle went up in that game, and Arizona closed the gap, and they ended up winning that game by 3 points. And I don't remember like if – it was that weird overtime where both teams like screwed up and Russell Wilson had the interception. This week, I think Seattle – look, they're coming off 2 losses. This really still is a championship caliber team. It's interesting because Arizona could say, this is ours. We're the leaders of this division now, and they could stomp on next this week. But I think I'm going to take the leadership.
Yeah.
I'm not betting on it. I'm watching it. There will be a reaction video on YouTube. But
this is the biggest game of Kyler Murray's career, at least in the NFL, right? Let's see how he does. Love it. I like that it's Thursday only because it's so annoying when the Thursday matchup is crap.
Yeah.
That's all. It's better than it being a bummy matchup.
I just don't like the Thursday matchup being the best game of the week, and I think that's what we're getting right now.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I don't want it to be the best game of the week, but
yeah, I hear you.
I'm on the same page.
All right, next one